and welcome to 3D Dice. My name is Celeste Bloodrain, and today I'm going to be demonstrating for you a lot of features that we've developed over the course of the month. The first one that I want to talk about today is the new sign up and onboarding flow that we released for our browser plugins and for our Foundry module. Hey, it's nice to see you. One question that I keep getting asked about the browser plugin is which browsers it's available for. Right now, we're on the Chrome Web Store. We're also on the Opera add-in store. I've been trying to work on a plugin or extension for Firefox, but that's proving difficult. They are releasing a new version of their extension format early next year. So I'm trying to work towards that one, and hopefully we'll have it for that as well soon. But for those of you who have used this before, this plugin currently works with D&D Beyond and Roll20. After you've installed the plugin, now when you open it up, you're presented with this screen. Before, you would need to generate a API key and put it in, but now you can just directly from installing the plugin without having to sign up at 3ddice.com, come here and directly create a room or join a room. So let's create a room, and it's going to...
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
So it's going to download your themes and show you a bunch of dice for you to choose from. We'll just choose bees, and it automatically creates a room for us. And just like as you could before, you can click anywhere and then you can roll. There it goes. Roll another time. And, if you want to have your friends sign up, you can click here and click this little button to copy your share link. Copies it to your clipboard. Now I'm going to switch over to a different user. We got Mafalda the Wise. She also installed the plugin. Click here. We'll see a little box called Join via Share Link. We can just paste the share link right in there, hit enter, and it will again immediately join you to the room, ask you which dice you want to roll. Mafalda's going to roll blue. And you can see now that in this room, there are now two people, the Game Master and Player 1. And then we can roll just like we could before, or we can have a crit if we want. There's the crit. It's pretty cool. We've also expanded our capabilities with D&D Beyond to allow you to use some of the Game Master tools. You can use the My Encounters. So let's go there now and roll dice from any of the monster stat blocks. So here we're going to, I made an encounter called Goblin in the Woods, and we can see our goblin. Each one of these bits gets highlighted, and then we can roll our weapon damage or weapon attack just as if they were a character. And you'll see it come up on all the player sheets. It's pretty awesome. So one of the other features we have here is that after you've started playing, if you do want to connect your 3D Dice account, we have a button. You can connect your account, and you can paste your API key in here, just as you did before, so you can get access to all the themes that you've collected, the custom dice that you've made, or the rooms that you've previously joined. Right now, you can't create a room other than your original initial room from this, from the plugin, so you'll have to do that on 3ddice.com, and those are the reasons why you might want to connect your account so that you can collect dice. Otherwise, you're stuck with the basic themes that everybody gets. The next thing I want to show is this similar update that we did for our Foundry VTT module. So give me one sec. I'm going to move some things around here, and then I will get Foundry up. There we go. Okay. Here's my Foundry. And in order to add the module, you can find it in the modules store. You just search for 3D Dice, DDD, ICE, and you can install it. I've already have mine installed. And when we launch our game world, I'm going to log in as the game master. We'll get a very similar interface. So here, go to the configure the settings. Oh, I don't have 3D Dice enabled. So first we go to manage modules, we enable 3D Dice, save module settings, and it's going to refresh. And then we should be able to go here, configure settings, and you'll see a very familiar screen. And same thing, it looks like I've already logged in here, and you can see all the rooms that I have. But this same thing works. If we log out, you'll see the same interface, create a room, join via link, connect your account. I can create a new room under a new account because I've logged out, select my dice, and then 3D Dice is ready to roll. And then I can /roll. And there it goes. Perfect. The next feature I want to demonstrate is one we released today that allows you to change the size of your dice. So I'm going to switch over to Chrome here. Cannot see it, it's hidden. Okay. There we go, back in my Chrome. And we'll go to 3ddice.com. And here we are. Roll dice. So we've added a few new settings to the settings menu. You can see down here, we've got dice size, small, medium, and large. Small is the size that it's always been. We can take some of these dice and we can throw them. Medium, it's a little bigger. And then large is positively gargantuan. Humongous. So this is a feature that would be useful if you want to use the stream overlay, but you don't want to take up the whole screen. We designed the size of the dice to scale with the height of the browser window. So I'm going to choose the large size dice. I'm going to click on Stream Room. And you can't see my browser's address bar, but if you do this yourself, medium is big and big is huge. Well, maybe I'll change that in the next release, but you're right. So if you copy and paste just like before, URL, it's going to be much bigger this time because we encode all of the configurations in the URL now. And let's just do this right here. You can see I'm going to add a new browser source. Call it browser. Oh, my screen is going crazy. Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to put in the URL, and there we have it. And now I can have it just a little bit corner. We go back here. We can roll the large chunky dice. So roll it. There it goes. And it's much smaller now. Okay. Alrighty. The other neat thing here is that in the past, all of the settings were default. So always it would auto clear the dice after 10 seconds. If you want to have it so that it never automatically clears the dice in your stream overlay, any of the settings you select here will be carried over into your stream overlay that you have in OBS or Twitch Studio or Streamlabs or whatever. The next feature I want to show is you can now, we've added a new feature to the editor where you can now access all of the fonts you have installed on your device. So let's just skip right over to the editor. Hold on. Let me give you the new experience. So when you come to the editor and you click on numbers, it's going to ask you if it's okay for us to load all the fonts that you have. So you'll get some you can't see the pop-up, but you'll see the pop-up. It'll say allow or deny. And then after you click allow, when you open up, okay, this also doesn't show up. Let's see. What if we put this back over here, this over here, and then we go to that. Let's see, maybe you can see it now. Okay, you should be able to see the full screen. Nice. Okay, click this. Aha! And now you get all the fonts that you have on your device. Let's just show what it looked like before. So we're turning off the fonts permissions. We reload, and we had a smaller set of fonts. We're missing a bunch that I have installed. We turn the fonts, we'll reset permissions, reload. This is what it would look like if you're coming to it from the first time. Click on the numbers, you get the pop-up, allow or deny. We're going to allow. Now we can see all these different fonts that I have. So the font that we use on our site is called Mullish. And so that's not a typical font that everyone has. And there it is, Mullish. And then we could put that on the die. I'm just going to wax lyrical. Oh, yeah, right? It is great. I'm going to wax lyrical for a moment about technology and browsers. This is a feature that's been secretly in the site for a very long time, from the very beginning. But the APIs to read the fonts from the device were in an experimental mode. So if you wanted to use it, you'd have to go deep into your browser settings in a place that only really developers would know about. Click on a bunch of things, sign in blood. I really, really do want this to be turned on. And then you could use it. And I used it a bunch for creating the dice that are now the standard set. But it was just really hard to explain. And thankfully, earlier this year, it became standard, and now it's available in all current versions of the different browsers. So this will now pop up that permissions window for you quite automatically, and it's super awesome. And I'm actually going to be using this later in the stream to create some new dice themes for everyone. And the next feature I want to demonstrate, which is kind of going to bridge us over into the dice creation section of the experience. Where did my list go? Is being able to create themes within Blender. So if you've watched me on the stream before, you'll have seen that a lot of the work that I do is very code intensive. I am writing literally the graphics code that gets run on your graphics processor and your NVIDIA graphics card to do all the lighting and shading and the bumping of the models. And I've done some complicated things, layering textures on top of each other, having things fade in and fade out and bump in, bump out dynamically. But it's been very code driven. I've been writing custom code, combining code together from different sources. And this is not something that, the artistically inclined are usually good at, or actually anyone really. You know, I do have a degree in graphics, so you know, I usually artists use the shaders. They don't write the shaders. So we have added a functionality to our site to be able to use 3D models and textures and materials that have been exported from Blender. So let's switch over to that right now. Let's see. Blender. Okay, let's get that up. Okay. So what I'm going to be using here is, this is Blender. It's a standard 3D model editor. And you can see I've got already imported into my Blender the different 3D models that we use for all of the dice on 3ddice.com. Right now, we just have one set of models, and all of the effects that I've done with different layerings and contours have been just through the shaders. So and the other tool that I'm using is a tool called Simple Bake. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like over here. It's under the renderer properties. Aha, Simple Bake. Oh, there's a new version. I'm not going to install a new version on a stream. You made the Duck Squad, yay! We were playing around. I was watching her play around with Hero Forge, and there's a duck, and I insisted that we need 4 ducks to make a swarm of ducks, and apparently it's been made. So the Simple Bake plugin will take complicated mishmash of shader nodes and turn them into something simple that we can then import into 3D Dice. So I'm going to, for the next portion of this stream, they only let you, only got 3. Well, that's almost 4. We can use our imagination. So for the next portion of the stream, I'm going to be using this new method and walk everyone through how to use this to create new sets of dice. And I'm going to make a set of dice to play Cyberpunk RED. If you've never played Cyberpunk RED before, one of the mechanics that it uses is what I'm going to be calling reverse exploding. In a lot of RPGs, you roll some dice and you roll a d10, and if you roll a 10, it explodes. So you roll a second die and add that to your total. In Cyberpunk, we also have the opposite. If you roll a d10 and you get a 1, you roll another die and subtract it for a critical failure. And to my knowledge, most of the VTT platforms don't have a way in their dice equation to support this. We don't have a way in our dice equations or our dice tool to support subtracting a die or even doing exploding yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a set of dice that has a d10 with negative numbers on it, so that you can use that to roll and see a negative number, because that's fun, in my opinion, or at least in my brain. So I'm going to put on some creating music, and then we're going to get into it. So let's see. Give me one sec here to turn on the tool. Automatic scene switching. Start. Okay. This will keep swapping the windows so you can see what I'm up to. So what we got here, okay, so these are all of the dice overlaid on each other. The size and orientation of the dice that are already here is very important. So I'll post this Blender file for everyone to download and use as a template. But if you do, be careful about that. we assume that the models are in a certain orientation for doing our physics calculations when they get rolled. And we assume that they're a certain size. If you look in the modeling, like they're like super tiny. Like super tiny. Right? Like this is the normal view. You can see the grid. That doesn't even make a single grid size. But it just makes all of the math and calculations easier when it's this small. So for the Cyberpunk, we don't need a D20. Delete it. We don't need a D12. We need 2 D10s. We already have 2 D10s. One is usually the 10s die and one is the 1s die. But we'll rename this one to D-10, just for funsies. We don't need a D4. Goodbye D4. We need a D6. We don't need a D8. We only use D10s and D6. So there we are. We got our models, and I'm gonna make use of the custom fonts that we just there we go. Okay, I want to make use of the custom fonts feature that we just released. So I went to Google Fonts and I did a little search for a font to use, and this is the font that I chose. It's called Audio Wide. Hey Grim, nice to see you. Well, hopefully the dice that I make right now, well, let me read what he said. On today's episode of How It's Made, virtual dice that hate me. Grim tends to roll low, or 4s, or just 4s on the dice that I make. So let's hope that this one isn't as cursed. So down here, you can type in a little bit of preview text. I put in the numbers because that's what matters to me. And these look pretty digitally without being too digitally. So I did download this before the stream, and it should be available for me in the editor. So let's go find it. Audio. Audio wide, regular. There we go. Okay. So we need a D6, which is going to be the normal ones. We're going to make the color. We're going to make the color of the numbers white. We'll make this black for ease of looking. The reason I'm making the numbers white is because when it gets exported from the editor, it'll be white numbers over a transparent background, and we can use that within Blender to do color math, where we multiply the white by the color we actually want so that I can twiddle around with the little knobs and stuff within Blender. So I'm going to click on download the texture. And then I'm going to go to the D10 and I'm going to use the custom faces here to make all the numbers negative. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Should have done them one at a time. Need a 1. And I want to point out here, we're not going to need it right now, but when you do edit the numbers, there's 2 parts. There's on the die and in the chat. By default, they start off the same, but if you want the math to come out correctly for this kind of die, you have to enter it in both spots. The reason we have this is so that you can have something different on the face and in the chat. Like if you want to have your logo as the 20, it can show the logo on the die, but still count as a 20 in the chat and in the math. And there are some systems that do use symbols for their dice faces, and the symbols do matter. So that you can, and so that with this feature, you can have a symbol on the die and then have the symbol show up in the chat. So systems like Genesis or the Fantasy Flight Star Wars, and in a previous stream, I made those dice, and they're actually our most popular die, believe it or not. Like 27 people or something have added it to their dice bar. Whereas our next most popular one is like 10. Here we go. Now let's just make sure that the -10 doesn't take up too much space. It looks like it's just a little bit too big, but let's do some eyeballing. Okay. Let's shrink this down a bit. We'll start with the -10. Look at 40. Okay. Let's make these all 40. That brings it just inside the boundaries, but not so small that it's going to look weird against the 10 without the negatives. Okay, and then let's export that. So what we're gonna have, so now we have two. Will this show up here? No, you can't see this. Let's see if I can put it into the browser. There we go. We got transparent background and we got the negative numbers. And then here we got the positive numbers. So we're gonna import these over into Blender. So let's start with the D6 because that's the easiest. D6. Hello. Nice, Mr. Cube. We're gonna come here to the shading tab within Blender, and we're gonna make ourselves a shader. The first thing we need to do is add a node that's called a principled BSD shader. Actually, we probably first need to add a new material. Okay. There we go. Now it added it for us. We got a principled BSDF shader. This is the kind of shader that's supported by the export-import tooling that we're going to use. And it's as fully featured as the custom shaders. Maybe not as fully featured, but it uses the same kind of physical shading model as some of the more complicated shaders that I've written, the ones that do the metallic shines for the chrome dice or for the first anniversary dice. So what we're going to start with here is we're going to add a node, and let's run a node input. We're going to do just image texture. Open image texture. We're going to open. Actually, I should probably be nice and neat about this. Let's hop over here to our themes. We're going to make a new folder, new directory, call it 00 Cyberpunk RED. And then we're going to take our textures, move them in there. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we got our textures. You can see them here. I'm going to rename them. I remember which is which. Call this one numbers. We'll call this one negatives. Okay, so back to Blender. I'm gonna open sort. Cyberpunk RED. Gonna start with numbers. Okay, and so this is like, I don't know, a visual representation of the shader. We're gonna take the numbers, we're gonna drag them right over into base color, and you can see it there. We got our numbers. They're not properly aligned yet, so we're gonna add a new node, which is called the UV map. UV map. And UV maps are a set of coordinates that map the texture to the correct positions on the model. You can see the drop down? Yes, you can. And our models have 3 sets of UV maps. One for the numbers that take the outputs from our editor that generates the number maps automatically and maps them correctly on all the faces of our models. It's already generated there. You can see very nice numbers. And we also have a map for overlapped. That's one that we use for outlines or backgrounds. And then we've got one called packed, which is what we're going to use for the export later. It puts it all nicely together and takes full advantage of the space that we get within our texture to get the most detail. And that's not something that the editor itself does, but maybe it will in the future. So here we got base color, and I'll show you the color math. So we do an RGB. Oh, nope. Do mix RGB. Let's click there. Search RGB. Mix RGB. Okay, so we're gonna mix RGB. Excuse me, we're gonna mix it with the blue. Actually, that's it's gonna be alpha. Here we are. Now we can change the color. Ooh, it's a little bit of an outlining effect there. That's not what I was wanting. Okay, now okay. Let's do this. Now this is the background color. And then we can add another node. Mix RGB. We're not going to mix, we're going to multiply. Okay, I'm going to multiply the output color. Put that in here. Fraction 100. Now we can drag this around. There we go. The outlining went away. And now we can make whatever color we want. So I don't know what the right word here is, but my goal for this die is I want to make it look like there's a metallic layer underneath that has some sort of colored coating, an enamel, or like a, I don't know, powder coating. The numbers are going to be metallic, and then I'm hopefully going to make the other parts like bumpy and scuffed. And then you can see the metallicness shine through a little bit on the parts that are worn away more than others. That's my goal. So let's try to go along with that. So the color, for now, we'll make it like, see red. Well, let's make it for now. Okay. So the next part that we want to do to make the metallic shine is that we need to have a metalness map. So we're going to add, actually, do we need to add anything? I don't think so. We can take this color and go right to metalness and see what happens. Metallic. And then roughness. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Okay. So you see here getting shiny. Probably want to add another color multiply node. Mix RGB in between here and there, so we can kind of drag this around. All white, a little gray, roughness. Okay, so looking in here, we're getting some color where we don't want color. So I'm gonna edit the numbers in GIMP. Let's see, a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna make a separate metalness map from the numbers. I'm gonna add a layer, new layer, call it background, and we're gonna make this black because the metalness map, the black portions are non-metallic, and the white portions are super metallic. Okay, so I got black. Okay, and now we're gonna export as, we'll call this numbers. We'll eventually need to come back and do this again for the negative numbers. That's good enough for now. So we're going to make another image texture node. And we're going to make this the metallic numbers. Right, we can connect that. Directly to the metallic. And then it needs UV coordinates of numbers. I'm gonna do roughness. Okay. It's still getting a little shine where I don't want to shine. So let's do this. We're gonna do numbers here. We're gonna go select alpha to selection. Okay, and then we're gonna select, we're gonna invert, delete, export as metallic numbers. Okay. It appears that there's some open again. Did I get rid of it? Did not. Okay, we may need to use a roughness map later to really get the effect that I want. Okay, so what we're gonna do next, you can see the shiny metallic part. Let's make the roughness a little bit rougher, and then we'll color this white. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's try out the roughness. Okay, so I downloaded a texture earlier. It's where did I put it? Title card for Perlin noise. And I have no idea where I saved it. Okay, I'm gonna have to go find it again. Okay. Give me a moment, friends. Okay, I found it. I downloaded it. I'm going to open it in GIMP. Okay, we're going to open. Okay. There we go. This is the noise texture. No, this will hopefully get us those. The white spots will be the high and shiny bits, and then the black parts will be the opposite. And we should, I mean, let's see how this works. So we're going to export this as, make this a PNG, just for safety. Go back to Blender. Then we're going to do add input. Let's see, image texture. Open for the noise. Put the color to roughness, and we're going to map this. Map. And map this to the faces overlapped. And you can see the roughness there. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to combine this with the numbers. So we're going to do some image math. We're going to do a RGB, mix RGB again. We're going to do an add. We're going to add early noise. And we're going to add the number, metallic number. We're going to make that metallic, and the roughness. And we're going to clamp it. It's not really giving me not giving me the color that I want. Let's see, I've got a invert? Invert. Okay, let's do it. I want my roughness to be the opposite of my metallicness. Okay, there we go. This isn't really giving me the effect exactly that I'm looking for. I think we need to let's see. Math. Do math. I'm gonna multiply this. Ooh, here we go. That's getting us somewhere. Okay, that's kind of what we want. And now we want to make that like same color as this. Okay, so like organize this a little bit. Okay. Get the number here. For the noise, we want to okay. We're getting somewhere. Let's put that in here. Okay, that's not exactly what I want to do. Okay, I think we want this. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, do we want to move? Mix RGB. And mix. There we go. Mix that with the color red. What I wanted. You go away. Color. Red. Okay. And the roughness. There we go. That's what I was thinking. And then the roughness. Frick. Okay. And this color, let's make it a little grayer. So it's shiny, but whatever this key. Okay, shiny, but not too shiny. Okay. Now let's add some bumps to this. Okay, so we do have our Perlin noise, and let's just see what happens when we attach this right to the bump map. Thanks everyone for being here. So let's see. Put this to the bump. Actually, no, we don't have a bump map. We need to make a bump map. We gotta do bump. Goes to the normal. take this one, we're gonna do height. Normal goes to the normal map. Okay, look at that. Okay. That's ruining our shininess. It's too much bump. Okay, strength. Less bump. Okay. It's kind of looking good. We're gonna do another. Actually, let's take this guy. Multiplied one. See how that works. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, we also want to make the numbers less rough. We want I want the numbers to be like mwah, shiny. So that's gonna be the numbers. We're gonna do a now. Okay. So we're gonna take this. Take that. Take this color. Put it together. Nope. Height. Let's do clamp. There we go. Okay, so you can see the little burnishings that I want, but it's not coming through as strongly as I was hoping. So what I want to do, okay, so this is going to be on the metallicness. Metallic numbers into metallic. Okay, and we're gonna not use overlap. We're gonna have to use numbers. This. Oh. I mean, that looks cool, but not what I was thinking. Okay, that's looking better. Is it though? No, I don't like that either. So let's go back to numbers. No, overlapped. And then we'd have to do this outside of Blender. What I want to do is take my noise texture and we're gonna cut out a piece of it. Let's do image, canvas size, and we instead just want 128 out of 128, and we're gonna put in the center. That's not at all what I said, computer. Okay, size. Okay, let me see how this works. Export to Perlin noise. It's not what I wanted to do. Oh no, it is what I want to do. Okay. And then let's reload it. Early noise. Okay, no, that was too much. So let's do image, canvas size. Let's just 300. Center, size, exporters, and the noise, PNG replace. Grimbeard says, is there an option or setting for setting number depth that I've been missing? What do you mean by number depth, Grim? Do you mean like how some of the dice with the numbers are like bumped in? I'll try to keep a better eye on the chat. I don't know when that came in, but the answer might be yes, but the answer might be no. If the die already has a feature where the numbers are bumped in, then yes. But if it's on like the custom font ones, we don't have that yet. So like for this die, it wouldn't work. But if we went to and we did the base theme, we did old school. It's got sunken in numbers. Under display options, the bump scale will change how much is bumped in. But yeah, having adding a bump feature to the complete custom dice is definitely something that we want to do in the future. So that's something you want, Grim. Make sure you ask me about it again later. Okay, this is looking a little better. I don't know. I think let's look at this one again. I'm trying to decide which one I like the best. I'm gonna keep it with this one. Okay, so there is our D6. And now let's I think we could probably apply the same one to the D10. So let's see if we can find our material. No, not the one we wanted. Material. And let's look what the D10 looks like. Oh, look. Perf. Okay. What would this look like if it was black? That looks kind of cool. Did I change the D6 too? Did. Okay, so just a little word of caution. You never want to make a 3D thing totally black, because then the shadow and the lighting doesn't really work well. Okay. So now let's go on to the negative D10. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to material, and then we're going to duplicate it. Add new material. Asset. There we go. Material. We'll get its name. We'll call this negative. Okay. So for negative, we're going to have to do the similar thing for the negative number. So we'll open it. Negatives. Okay. So that's gonna alpha to select. Selection invert, so we can delete anything that's outside of the alpha if there is. And then we will overwrite. And we're going to add a layer, new layer, out the background, put it in the background, and make it black. And then we will export this as metallic negatives. Okay, export. Back to Blender. Okay, so now we have the same shader and we just need to swap the numbers for the D10. So this is going to be negatives. Okay, and then here we're going to do metallic negatives. Okay, looking good, looking good. And now let's make the negative one back to being on the reddish end of the spectrum. There you go. Okay, so we got a red negative guy. Got the black D10. Why don't we make D6 bluish, just because we can. So we're going to new material, both material D6. And we'll make this one bluish. Okay, so now that we've made that, now we need to export and bake them. This is going to take a few minutes to do just blah 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 while we talk. First though, we need to select each one and make sure that the UV map packed is the one that's actively selected. So we got packed for the -10, packed for the D6, and then packed for the D10. Perfect. And we're gonna make all of them visible. And then we go into the render menu. There's the render, we scroll down. And you have to remove these. I guess they're got removed already. Okay, so we got a D10, D-10, D6. And we need to set up our bake properties. So here we're gonna export diffuse, export metalness, because we use metalness. We're gonna export roughness, we use roughness. Transmission, no. Clear coat, no. Clear coat roughness, no. Emission, no. Nope. Specular alpha. Got bump. Actually, no, we don't. We're not using bump, we're using normal. We got normal. And then we're gonna I already preset these. So last time I made this, we're going to bake at 1024 and scale down to 512. The texture size that we use is 512. And by baking it higher and then scaling it down by half, this gives us a little bit of an anti-aliasing effect without have to actually do it. The export path, we're going to put the export path to Cyberpunk RED. Now we're going to, we want to make sure that we have one subfolder per object, so that it puts each of our dice in a separate folder with its own textures and its own models. And we're going to use the gLTF format. This is the new format that we've enabled in 3D Dice. And this allows you to pack together all of the textures, all of the shaders, all of this big mishmash of what I just have here into a single file. And you can just directly upload that instead of having to do what I did by hand coding a lot of it and making the complicated manifest file. And then we're gonna bake in the foreground so you can see what's happening. You'll see stuff going on in this window over here, and we're gonna click on bake. So it's gonna take a quick minute or two. We can see it going there. It's taking the texture, everything that we did, and compiling it down or baking it into a smaller set of textures instead of this big complicated program that we have here. It's just going to be one texture for the metalness, one texture for the roughness, one texture for the color, and then one texture for the normal. And the normal is the one that makes the bumps. So, oh wow, that went a lot faster than I was expecting. It seems to be done already. Okay, let's go check it out over here in my, there we go. We got our D-10, our D6, and our D10. So what we need to do next, now we gotta go to the programming part. I'm gonna move all these into the base folder. And then we're going to have to make a manifest file. So I got one here that I made for my sample gLTF, which was a redo of the first anniversary dice. So we're going to call this Cyberpunk RED. The RC1 and will be okay. And that's in the color of blood. Cheeky. Do I really want to call this Cyberpunk RED? I've been trying to avoid using the names of games in my dice titles. Let me try to think for a second. If anyone has a good suggestion for a kind of slightly off name, that would be appreciated. Okay, so next, here we're going to need to have an available dice. Array. Internet punk dice it is. Okay, so we need we're gonna have to do a whole custom business. We need, do we? Well, let's just do it. ID. It's gonna be And then type will be also D6. And then the notation D6. Okay, next we're going to need D10. ID is D10. Okay, so for the, just to explain what I'm doing right now, we can't type while talking. We need to specify which kind of dice are available in this set. It's not going to be the normal standard D4, D6, D8, D10, D10X, D12, D20. We're just going to have a D6 and we're going to have two D10s. Because we have two D10s and not just a singular one, we need to use this more expressive notation to explain what the dice is. ID is an internal ID, and that will be used to reference what the mesh is. Type is the physical die shape that gets used by the physics engine to know how to roll it. And then notation is what you see when you put the dice equation. You can put whatever you want in there. So if you use the alien dice that I made, it's going to say like one die and then one stress, because that's what they do. They're all D6s. So we'll do D10 because that's just normal. And here's the wacky one. So the ID, excuse me, is going to be, ooh, we can't use a negative sign before this. So it would be D10. I don't think, maybe we can. Let's go for broke. Negative D10, because that's what we've been calling it. Type is going to be D10. And then notation, we do, so D, maybe D negative 10. Maybe that's better. Okay, we'll do negative 10. We'll do that. Okay, and then I want to fix this later, but we need to have a sizes. You can specify if you use the API, make dice extra chunky. So if you were here at the beginning of the stream, you saw me demo the new feature where you can specify how large the dice are when you roll them. Well, if you want to make one of the dice in your set a little bit larger than the others, you can use it. And if you missed that part of the stream, just yell out in chat and I'll be happy to show it again. But 1 is small, 2 is medium, and 3 is large. That's just what it is. Okay. No, come on. Okay, and here we got 6. What did it call it? It's called it D06. Oh wait, we already got the GLB. This one will be D negative 10. D negative 10 GLB. Rid of those. And here we go. Here's our manifest. So I am going to hide my... Actually, I don't need to hide my screen. I'm going to use a window that's not part of the stream to generate my API keys so I can upload these. And then we can see if they look just as cool as they did within Blender. Okay. Create my key. And then, okay, now I need to go blank out my screen. I'm gonna make that up for a sec. Go, actually, I think I already have the API key. I already have my API key set, so let's just try it. Oops, upload teams. We do the production. Cyberpunk RED. Wish me luck. Kerpow, looks like it worked. Okay, and then we'll go to my account. my dice box. And it should be down here. Ooh. This does not look promising. Also no. Triple no. Let's see. What does F12 show us? Fetch responded with 403. Okay, so maybe the dash. Error. Access denied. That is super strange. Okay, let's try not using the negative. We'll call it oh. Typo. Okay, let's see if that. Aha! There we go. Negative die. Let's do a roll. Okay. Okay. You're probably not hearing that, but I'm hearing the beeps of server errors. What did I do? I'm not even showing up here. Oh. Oh. So what's the error message? Error message says server error. Very useful. Okay, I'm gonna go look at the server logs. Well, none of you get to look because that would not be secure. Oh, okay. It is the -10. Okay, so that's called IP DN10. Okay, and then let's see how this works. So we know the graphics work fine. Oh, no, still. I'm looking at the log and it's saying undefined array key. Okay, this means my available dice arrays somehow weird. Okay, let's do down with D10X. Because we know that work is a value. Thinking I may have just stepped right into a bug. Okay, try this again. Ah, it worked this time. Okay, I can't tell you why that thing didn't work. There we go. I got too many other graphic-y things going. Let's close them out. Okay, oh yeah, still have Foundry running. Okay. Alright, let's give this a rego. Okay. So now let's go to a room. There we go, this one. 3D dice logo. Let's give them a roll. Okay, apparently you can't roll them. That caused more server errors. What did I do this time? No, that's got nothing to do with anything. Okay, why aren't they in my dice box here? Right there. Okay, maybe. In my digital dice box. What? Oh, here it is. Okay. End up on the second page somehow. Okay. Now let's try it out. Oh, okay. You know, this isn't gonna work. -10. Oh, get my chunky die. Still gonna be. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to here. We need to specify the correct values for the dice. Values. Oh, that's probably why it was failing. D6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B. Let's go back to D -10. Now that we know what's going on here, it's going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. Okay. Let's do -10. Actually, before we submit this, let's check one of my other dice that's all custom to make sure I'm not forgetting anything in the manifest. Available dice, got it. Values, got it. Meshes, got it. Sizes, got it. Textures, don't need it. Uniforms, don't need it because I'm gLTFing. All right. Okay. Feel good. Well, version 1. I'm gonna put my size back down. Too small. Oh. Unexpected error occurred. Oh. It's because I changed the dice kind. Right there. Okay. That. Do that. And then do that. Okay. So now we got Internet Punk 10. Internet Punk -10. Well, look, and now we can roll them together. And then we'll subtract. 7 minus 2. Uh-oh. That says 7. This one says 6. I did it bad. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I just miss C? No. Okay. 5 minus 4. 1. Okay. One minus 8, -7. Six minus 1. 6 minus 1. But that's a 7 minus 1. Are my numbers in the wrong spot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 9, 10. It was mysterious. Okay, let's see. I might have 3D models which are not exactly in the right way. No. We'll just check. Just check. Okay, let's look at the D10. Okay, then we're gonna go to the UV editing, and we're gonna change this to the numbers. You know what? Let's just re-import D10s. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Import FBX. Meshes, D10. Import PX. Oh wait. This one be -10. Okay. Material, negative, material, two. There we go. Okay. But now these are like pointing the wrong direction. Launch jumped. Let's see. Made some other dice that were gLTF. Here we go. Like they're to 10. Maybe that's the same weirdness. 7 and the 6 being swapped. Eight, 10, 10. 6, 7. Yeah. It's 6 and 7 are swapped too. That is super weird. Okay. Let's modeling. Okay, this was kind of select all. Okay. Rotate. Scale, rotate. Oh. Let's try rebaking this. Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna rebake. Okay, I'm gonna upload this again. What happens? 4. 4. -2. -2. -7. -6. Okay, let's see what. Could do dumb thing. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I don't wanna, but I'll probably do it just for now. Do the dumb thing and just edit the numbers that show up. And then worry about making my sample gLTF file awesome for everyone later. Let's take the basic dice. Here we go. Should be the 8. Should be the 8. Okay. Okay. D10. Okay. 7 is between the 5 and the 3. 7 is between the 4 and the 10. 65. That's so weird. Models. Maybe I got the models in the wrong spot. Let's try this again. Delete. File. Import. FBX. Okay, from a different place. Not what I wanted. Okay, this guy. Okay, let's reapply our model materials. Negative. Okay. Six is between 9. 17 between the 5 here. Six is between the 4 and the 0. Okay. I guess the models that I was using were just wrongly oriented. Okay. I'm gonna rotate these. Point it the correct way. Okay. Doing exactly what I told you not to do and messing with the rotation, because the rotation on those imported files were not the correct way. Okay, big. Okay. Oh, whoop, what'd I do? What did I just do? Something's going crazy here. To the bake. Add it to the bake. Okay. Completely paste it. D10. Add it to the bake. Okay, so material for the D10. material. Okay, now we bake. Now we bake. Bake. Bake, bake, bake. Okay. Now let's see. That worked. Reload. Okay. 6.35. Oh. Not work because I need to move the rebaked files. Okay. Okay, but yeah, my textures are messed up. Reselect these because I don't trust it. Okay. Let's go to UV. Aha! Got a step. Okay. Now let's rebake. Bake. Nope, that's wrong. This one's right. Get that one's right. Okay. Bake. Where's our hawk? Let's run. Go run. Okay. Making one more time. Be correct. There we are. Okay, finally. Okay, we baked. Okay. Upload once again. Now it should be correct. Perfect. Nope, I did not orient them correctly. True. Yep. Okay. Okay. Take. Okay. There we go. Got them all baked this time. Pour it all. Blue. Okay. Okay. Test roll. Still like off. You know what? Let's see. Miss it. Okay, we're gonna look at this one. This one, the models are in the right place. Okay. Let's put in the X. Work. Rotate. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Right. Thank you. Material. Huh? Huh? Okay. Now we bake. Bake. Mm. Okay, this is gonna work for real this time. I swear. Super double sure it's pointing in the right direction. Numbers in the right spot. And then I will use, actually I can't use this one. I'm gonna have to make a new sample file because this one doesn't have all the different kinds of dice. Okay, image bake is done. Go back to my editor here. Goes overwrite file. Okay, nice. Thinking correctly. No, they're not thinking correctly. Teat. trying to get the orientation right. That wasn't. Alrighty. Let's see if this works this time. slightly off. That one's fine too. Wait. This is so frustrating because when I started off, it was fine except for that swappy swap. Okay, let's try to see. We're gonna save this. Okay, 10 is a negative factor. Okay, open. Oh. 10 get. It's putting in negative X. Okay. Let's see. Sure, safe. Jeez. Let's go here. Let's roll the dice. Okay. 9 should be where the 2 is. Shouldn't be exactly. Right. Yeah. There we go. I think we got it. It for real. I know I've said that every single time, but I'm feeling very confident now. I got the 9 to be just at about at the right spot as the 2, but a little off kilter because I imported it at the incorrect orientation. So now this should be red. I'm gonna have to make a whole new sample. Okay. Okay, done this a million times before. Copy this. Refactor. Overwrite. Number 9. Okay, see how this came out. Oh. Textures were wrong. This seems not good either. It's super worse. Okay, I am being super boring. So I think I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own later. So thank you everyone for coming to watch. And let's see. I'm going to do a thing I've never done before and try to raid out. Let's see how that works. Twitch. Stream manager. This works. I don't even know how to do this. Figure this out together. And denial. Okay, let's try this one for some D&D content that's hopefully I can see them. They're using 3D dice. So thank you everyone for watching and chat soon.